Thank you all for coming. I mean, what a wonderful turnout. We didn't imagine we'd have such a great turnout. And just want to say welcome to everyone. I see some familiar faces. I see some new faces, but this is wonderful. Thank you so much for your support. On behalf of the Breaking the Bronze Ceiling, again, welcome. And before I go any further, I want to introduce the rest of the steering committee. I'm Councilmember Jennifer Masadi, and I'm the chair. We have Councilmember Kathy Plowman, who is my vice chair. We've got some other ladies here. Rebecca Byers is on her way to, I believe, Ireland. Councilmember Angela Evans right here. Georgia Henkel. Georgia, where are you? Right there, Georgia. Dr. Randolph Hollingsworth. I saw Randolph somewhere. Okay. Janet Holloway. There we are, Janet. Joyce Johnson. Joyce. There we are, back there, Joyce. Victoria Meyer. I think Victoria's working the front. There's Victoria, way back there. And Kelly Parmley. Kelly. Thank you all so much. This has definitely been a group effort, no question about this. And I also wanted to thank the Junior League of Lexington for letting us hold tonight's event at the Bodley-Bullock House. From what I understand, during the Civil War, the Bodley-Bullock House was headquarters for both Union and Confederate forces during the Lexington, when they were here in Lexington. And Minnie Bullock, who was Dr. Walter Bullock's wife, was the founder of the Garden Club of Lexington. And ironically, when I got here, I looked all around for Minnie's picture and couldn't find it. So another reason why we need to promote women in Lexington. But she's one of the many women in Lexington that we really need to show recognition to as well. And we have Mayor Gray here this evening, who is going to speak a little bit later in the performance. Thank you, Mayor, for coming. But before I officially introduce you, I wanted to talk a little bit why we're here this evening. For many of you that don't know what this initiative is, it's our campaign to erect a monument in 2020 to recognize the 19th Amendment of the ratification of the women's right to vote. And I think you all agree it's very, very important. On January 6, 1920, the Kentucky legislature ratified that amendment. Governor Morrow gave this message: a government of the people, by the people, cannot and does not exist in a commonwealth in which one half of its citizens are denied the right to vote. The women of Kentucky are citizens, and there is no good or just reason why they should be refused the full and equal exercise of the sovereign right of every free people, the ballot. I think that says it all. It really does. But people ask, why build a statue? And I think my answer is it's more than a representation. It's about sending a message to our young people, our young boys, our young girls, our daughters, our nieces, our aunts, our mothers, that we had a hand in shaping our history, and we need to be recognized for that. Raise your hand if you ever use a credit card or have one. Okay. Now this is a little bit of trivia. In 1974, women were not allowed to have credit cards in their own names. 1974, that was like 40, well, okay, I thought it was 74. Thank you, Randolph. Anyways, we couldn't have a credit card in our name. Why? Because we were a woman. Not because we didn't have credit worthiness. It's because we had 2 extra chromosomes, X and X. And that was, as I said, only 40 short years ago. So just think that we've come a little way, but we've got a lot longer to go. And we've got to go much, much further, as I said, for equal rights, equal pay, and equal opportunity. There's no question about that. And as I said before, so many of our contributions and the accomplishments that women have done and the vital role that we have played have just been lost in the history books. We've raised families, we've led battles, we've done untold contributions to American history and throughout the whole the world. But as a society, we've done a really poor job of acknowledging that. So many times, women's roles in leaderships have been greeted with low expectations and a high degree of skepticism. We've been expected to be baby makers, but not decision or money makers. And for longer than I care to remember, women have faced economic and societal barriers at every turn. Before the Civil War, in the early, mid-1960s, women were considered delicate creatures who should only be concerned with keeping their family fed and happy and keeping their home clean and tidy. Why build a statue? Because Kentucky women like Josephine Henry, Laura Clay, and Madeline Breckenridge have a remarkable history of great endeavors, and little girls and boys should know that important history and be inspired by their respective achievements. But look around. Is there even one statue or monument in Lexington commemorating any of the accomplishments or contributions by any women? No. Nearly 100 years ago, women achieved the right to vote, and voting is how you bring about change. Electing strong women is how we bring back a lack of women-friendly politics and policies and resources in the workplace and persistent stereotypes. After all, women extended hunger strikes for the right to vote. They were repeatedly arrested for the right to vote, and they were beaten and tortured for simply seeking the right to vote. Not voting is not an option, and I know everyone in this room agrees with me there. The good news is that there's growing momentum. You know, we've seen it. We've seen the Me Too movement. We've seen just the acknowledgement that we are 52% of the population, and we exist. So that's evident right here in Lexington. Obviously, that's happened right here in our own community. But we need your help. We need public and private funding in order to achieve our goal. And now I would like to recognize the mayor, who's been a real help in that respect. He's got a very special presentation this evening that we've got right here for you, Mayor. This is yours. Okay. This is a big deal.
All right.
Mayor, it's
Jennifer,
all yours.
Thank you, Jennifer. Well, listen, let's give Jennifer a big hand. And Kathy, and all your committee, everybody that's worked so hard on breaking the bronze ceiling. Big hand of applause. Thank you. All right. I want to tell you all a real quick story, that my own story of growing up in Glasgow in Barron County. I had a great aunt. Her name was Bess Howard. Well, we grew up with Aunt Bess, and in 1920, she was the first woman elected. The year that women got the right to vote, she actually ran for public office. And she was elected. And she was elected, Linda, as county court clerk of Barron County. And she served, this is my story short, but she served for 34 years. Longer, her opponent said, than Jesus Christ walked on the face of the earth. But she was a real inspiration to us. She was a real inspiration to my mother, who in many respects in the business world was a trailblazer. And we learned a lot from her. So tonight I am honored to be wedged between and among 4 women. I don't know how I got this honor, Jennifer, but I appreciate it. I know actually how I got it. I had a little something to do with the budget, right? And that's the extent of it. That's the extent of it. But it is a real honor, and I look so forward to the way in which you all are going through this, because I know you're thinking about this memorial, this statue, in a very thoughtful way, in a way that, as Jennifer said, is going to inform and educate and inspire so many young people. And I said people, young people, because it's men and women that will be inspired. So it is with that I will reach over here, and Jennifer has provided me with a real nice prop here. This represents, let me help, come on, this is a photo moment, so come right here.
Come on, where's my lady?
Yeah, come on, everybody come on up here. The whole team, come up here. Kathy,
Come on,
Angela, Georgia.
This is a group effort for sure.
Woo!
Janet.
A group effort. And I get to be here. Raise it up. All right, buddy.
Come up before the outside the podium.
You're fine. Get in.
Where are you, Victoria?
All right.
Wow.
You see your face?
We're covered.
Down a bit.
Should we stand in front of the podium?
Move over.
Okay.
We got a producer
Say it.
telling
In
us
front
how
of
to do
the,
this.
right. In front of the podium.
We got a producer telling us how to do this. Make it level.
Thank you to the mayor and thank you to the Urban County Council. I mean, this is huge, especially with a budget that's kind of lean. But before our next speaker, I wanted to thank Lex TV. You're giving me hello, Councilmember James Brown, and we have Councilmember Susan Lamb here too, and I know there's other officials here as well. Vice Mayor Kay. Thank you. Whew. I wanted to say thank you to Lex TV for being here tonight too. They're available also tonight. What I'd like to have done, if possible, is they're going to go around after we kind of relax a little bit more, and maybe if you could say 15 to 30 seconds of why you think this is important, we'd like to capture that because I think that's going to be great for promoting this cause even further. So our gentleman is right here.
I'm not sure there's a half sheet at the table there.
Come on over here, Randolph. Let's just, you want to check? I was told that there's a half sheet that Dr. Hollingsworth has provided talking about the reason what we're doing this for, the funding and so forth. So if you wouldn't mind, you can grab that as well. Anyways, I think it'd be important if you all could help out in that way. It'd be great. And like I said, don't be shy. This is your moment on TV. So 30 seconds, you never know what could happen ever as a result of that. We also have in the back room, Michael Breeding has a television monitor, and he's got DVDs of Dreamers and Doers. I don't know if any of you have seen that. It's great. It talks about all the historic women in Kentucky, their contributions, their achievements, and it's really well done. KET provided it at one time, and if you've not seen it, there are some free DVDs for you as well. So stop by and see Michael before you leave. And thank you so much, Michael, for doing that tonight as well. So the next on our program is Fran Taylor, and I'd like to introduce Fran with the Bluegrass Community Foundation.
I will be very brief, and I am speaking tonight on behalf of the Board of Directors and staff of the Bluegrass Community Foundation. Seems like some of the other folks were out of town, and so I got the lucky job of being here. I'm so glad to be here. And I do want to let you know, Bluegrass Community Foundation is the fiscal sponsor for the Breaking the Bronze Ceiling.
Right.
And they're helping make this project happen in a very careful legal way so that all your donations are tax deductible. And we do have a lot to celebrate. I wanted to, John and Donna Hall, who've been so important to our community. John is a past chair of the Community Foundation, and what you all represent, he said best. He said, Bluegrass Community Foundation is dedicated to the idea that one person can make a powerful impact. But we also know that we make the greatest impact when we work together. So I'm just tickled that all of you are involved in so many different ways, and I thank the committee, I thank the mayor and the urban county government for their support of this really remarkable initiative that is way beyond
Overdue.
Yes, way overdue, so thank you so much.
Thanks so much, Fran. And Councilmember Angela Evans, if you wouldn't mind coming up and say a few words, that would be great.
Put that up there. Please don't let me forget that. Okay. Good evening. It's so great to see everybody. Thank you all for coming. This week, I had the pleasure of representing my sorority, Delta Sigma Theta, at the renaming of the Day Treatment Center after my soror, Audrey Grievous. Audrey was one of the original and highly regarded leaders in Lexington of the civil rights movement and a member of Delta Sigma Theta. The convictions and dedication to social justice runs deep in our membership, and I have a couple of my sorors here tonight who will confess to that as well. And once I give you a little information, you might understand why they are who they are, because Delta is so dear to us. Delta is a nonprofit organization founded by 22 Black collegiate women, dedicated to providing assistance and support through established programs in the community and throughout the world. The 22 founders of Delta Sigma Theta wanted to use their collective strength to promote academic excellence, provide scholarship to those in need, support the underserved, and educate and stimulate participation in the establishment of positive public policy, and to highlight the issues and provide solutions for problems in their communities. Delta co-founder Bertha Pitts Campbell once explained, "We had broader views. We wanted to reach out to our community. We wanted to be more than just a social group. And this is the purpose of every Delta. So it should be no surprise to you that the sorority's first public act, despite the tremendous risk to their own lives, was marching in the women's suffrage parade in Washington, D.C. in 1913. We hold that very dear. These 22 women, acutely aware of the horrible violence against the white women suffragists, understood they could face something much worse. Yet, despite being discouraged by some of those white suffragists, and with the courage and determination to fight for equality, they marched. And I suspect many Delta women, myself included, have reminded ourselves of our founders' fortitude, and that has given us the strength to face whatever challenges we've faced, whether it be discrimination, sexism, social injustice, just throughout the years. So it is truly my honor, and I'm very happy to be celebrating with you tonight with women of all different backgrounds, to celebrate my founders in this movement, this new movement, to honor and remember all of those women who fought for our rights. So thank you.
And right now, I'd like to introduce the Vice Chair of Breaking the Bronze Ceiling, Councilmember Kathy Paloman.
Thank you, Councilmember Masadi. Before I get into my remarks, I would like to recognize Marcia Weinstein, who's here with us tonight from Louisville. Marcia was the former executive director of the Kentucky Commission on Women, and she is president of the National Collaboration of Women's History Sites. So that's pretty cool that you've come over to join us tonight. Thank you.
I just like to say, y'all are doing an awesome job. Thank you, Lexington. Still remains, our suffrage foremothers were from Lexington, and the women from Lexington and from Louisville will always respect and admire the Lexington.
Thank you so much. That's great. There's an old saying that if you want something said, ask a man. If you want something done, ask a woman. Now, there's a few exceptions, Mayor. I applaud you and recognize you for being an exception. Now, James, well, all of the men are here tonight, We're kind of, But women, when I think about women, we are the doers. And you look at our families, our careers, our community, we try to juggle it all. So we really do deserve this recognition that we're trying to build upon from tonight forward. All of you have friends, family members, co-workers. You are ambassadors. This is not a steering committee project. This is a community project whereby each of you need to go out, and I'm sure you want to go out, and engage and embrace other women that realize that we need and we want to have this recognition in our community. So I ask you to go forward and talk to these folks and to get them on board. And not just women. I mean, my gosh, our mayor just gave us $100,000. So, it's out there. So we... Well, Yeah. Well, and you know what's nice about it is you've got a recurring gift opportunity here. You can do it in 2018, 2019, and 2020. And so, yeah, we need that to happen. So when you have your conversations, make sure you ask them for that recurring gift. But I think that this is such a wonderful momentum and initiative, and we all deserve that. And it's interesting because when I was writing, or not writing, I never write anything, I always just go off the cuff. But I'm thinking about, this is not just about us in the present. This is, like Councilmember Masadi said, this is about our children, our daughters, but it's about our mothers. It's about our grandmothers, our great-grandmothers, and everyone in the state of Kentucky, especially in Lexington, that has contributed so much to the history, and we need to have that recognition. So I want to ask you right now, how many of you are already a member of 100 Women? 100 for 100. Okay? Raise your hand, Jennifer. Okay. Everybody else that's here, you're here for a reason. You're interested. You're interested. You're committed. So you can drop your check in the front little composite up there.
Internet's working.
The internet's working. You can go to Bluegrass Community. It's BGCF, standing for Bluegrass Community Foundation .org. You can go to the right corner, donate now, and you can do it's really easy after that. So $100 is what we ask, but you know what? You can go anywhere you want to. We've got quite a few women that have stepped up to that, and we ask for you to go out and spread this message. And in closing, I will say that Rosie Reveter, do you all know who she is? She was the kind of like the symbol of when men went off to war, the women came in and they made it happen. So, with that said, I'd like for all of you to make a muscle. And I want you to put your hand on that muscle. And when I say 3, I want you to say, we can do
There we
it.
go, wait a second.
Okay, muscles out. All right, so when I say 3, we're all going to say, we can do it. 1, 2, 3. We can do it.
There we go.
Thank you, everyone, for being here.
Thank you, ladies. Wine, food, mayor. Come.
Ask a question. You're trying, the goal is 3, did you say that, Jennifer?
Oh, we said $500,000, Mayor. Yes. So we need 4 more checks from the government and we're all set.
You're asking personally for everybody.
Well, we are. And you can match that too, Mayor, personally. We would love it. All righty. Thank you all for coming. So it means so much to all of us. We worked really hard for this, and we've got more events down the road, and we will keep you informed. There's a sign-in sheet when you come in. Put your email there. Please give a donation. Again, thank you for coming this evening.